You know one of these, but the deeper you go, the more the map starts acting broken. Derbininden is the old-school version of a transcontinental city. It sits in that tiny gap between the Caucasus and the Caspian. So for centuries, it was basically the front door between Europe and Asia. And everybody noticed. A UNESCO-walled city on the Caspian coast, built where the Caucasus squeezes to a 3 kilometers corridor, long treated as a gateway between Europe and Asia. Nicosia is here because continent lines are part geology, part argument, and Cyprus is where that gets messy. The city already has a buffer zone through its middle, so adding the Europe versus Asia debate makes it feel like the map editor gave up halfway through. A divided capital on an island at the crossroads of 3 continents, geographically tied to West Asia, politically framed as European. Its boundary story runs through the old city itself. Çanakkale feels like Istanbul's less famous, slightly nerdier cousin. Cross the water here and you're switching continents again, which is absurd enough. But this city has spent centuries living off that exact bottleneck. The Dardanelles forms a Europe-Asia boundary. City life depends on ferries and bridges across the strait. Municipal sources describe it as having land in both continents. Suez is where the continent line stops being theoretical and starts looking engineered. A modern canal cuts the split, and the city ends up mostly in Africa, with a little piece in Asia, which is exactly the sort of sentence that sounds fake until you see the map. The Suez Canal divides Africa from Asia. The Suez metro area is mostly in Africa, with a small Asian part. Port Taufik and nearby docks tie the city to canal traffic. Orenburg is one of those places where the joke becomes physical infrastructure. Walk the bridge, read the markers, and you've crossed from Europe to Asia in the same city, which is a ridiculous flex for a river crossing in the southern Urals. The Ural River is a classic Europe-Asia boundary. Bridge markers literally label Europe on one side and Asia on the other, founded as a frontier fortress facing east. Ismailia is where the canal city idea gets more lived in. This isn't just a port at one end, it's a city in the middle of the cut, with the urban region reaching into Sinai, so the Africa-Asia line actually messes with commuting, planning, and how the place is stitched together. Built around Lake Timsah in the middle section of the canal. The governorate includes land east of the canal in Sinai. Pedestrian and road crossings make the split part of daily movement. Port Said gets weird because the city story immediately comes with a twin on the other bank. Port Said on the west, Port Fuad on the east, and the Suez Canal between them. So the metro reality is one maritime urban system spread across 2 continents. The canal's northern entrance starts here. Its twin across the water is Port Fuad, on the Sinai side. The urban pair sits across the Africa-Asia divide. Magnitogorsk is what happens when a continent line runs through a full-blown steel city. It's not a quaint border monument, it's blast furnaces, apartment blocks, and bridges, all in a place whose whole civic identity leans into being half Europe, half Asia. Sits by the Ural River near the southern Urals. The city's motto calls it the place where Europe and Asia meet, an industrial giant built across a symbolic continental split. Atarau might be the cleanest map glitch on the list. 1 river, 2 continents, 1 city, and because the terrain is so flat and wide open, the split looks weirdly casual, like Europe and Asia just forgot to stop somewhere else. The Ural River splits the city into European and Asian sides. It sits near the Caspian and below sea level. Local tourism and official descriptions market the cross-continental split. And here's the payoff. Because Istanbul doesn't just touch 2 continents, it runs on them. Millions of people cross the Bosphorus through bridges, ferries, road tunnels, and rail tunnels. So this isn't a neat trivia fact. It's a huge modern city doing intercontinental commuting before breakfast. The Bosphorus divides Europe and Asia through the middle of the city. Bridges, ferries, tunnels, and metro lines connect the 2 sides every day. It's by far the biggest and busiest example on Earth.